So we'll have a quick look at this. This bit is a real pain in the ass though, because it's like a puzzle that you have to solve. So thinking I might try and get this up on the screen so you guys can see it as well. It is the homing beacon puzzle. So it says opening up the data recorder, and who doesn't have one by now, displays a grid of 5 squares. There are 5 sub-circuit plates that can be moved from square to square. Each of the 5 sub-circuit plates has a jumper that can be moved to any of the 5 IRK settings, and a socket to accept any of the 5 chips. The Spentium, the Dentium, the Repentium, the Fermentium, and the Dimtel. Squares that the plates fit into are called the sensor arrays, A to E. So the player must figure out which plate goes into which sensor array, insert the correct chips into each plate socket, assign the correct IRK jumper number to each plate. So yeah, this is kind of one of those kind of like puzzles where you've got to just like do like a process of elimination kind of thing. So all 5 plates are needed to create the homing beacon. We know that the feedback cutter-offer and the tachyon transmitter plates need to follow certain configuration rules explained herein, but some confusion about the remaining plates still exists. So at the moment this is kind of configured to be used for the original purpose, which is to hunt down the Ender Droid. But now what we need to do is configure it to be a homing device. Okay, so it's saying the tachyon transmitter and feedback cutter offer, which is that one there. This one I think need to stay where they are, but the other 3 we need to move around. Pop these chips out. This is what I mean. You can move these around. You can also move these around, and you can change these switches. So there's a hell of a lot of possibilities. So yeah, I've just posted the manual in chat. If anyone else needs me to repost it, just let me know. I'm just going to try and figure this one out. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. So it says of these 3, we know that one must be placed at sensor array E. So this is sensor array E. One of the others must be set at IRK1, and the remaining one uses the Spentium chip. So it says we do know for sure that the tachyon transmitter should use the Dentium chip. So we know this one's going to have the Dentium chip, so they can go on there. And should not be placed at sensor array C. That's not going to go on C. Might just need to actually write these down, because it's not going to be straightforward, I can see. The particle shield should not be placed at sensor array E. Just quickly write these down. So the subspace emitter should not use IRK7. This one doesn't use IRK7. The recalibrating fluctuator should be placed at sensor array A. So what's that? Yeah, so that one goes there. I'll pop these out now so we can not get confused. Alright, so should be placed at sensor array A and set to 9. Okay, cool, so that one goes to 9. That one's a little easier. We've only got like one thing to figure out for that, which is what chip goes into it. Cool, so that one can't use A because that's in there. Then we've got feedback cutter offer won't work with the Fermentium chip and should not go in sensor array B or C. So Fermentium not go in B or C. The plate that uses IRK3 also uses the Dimtel chip. The plate in sensor array D must be set to IRK5. Cool, okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a process of elimination. So we know what we've got in here at the moment is correct. So one must be placed at sensor array E out of those three. So that's the subspace emitter, particle field, recalibrating fluctuator. So the fluctuator's at array A, so that one can't be set at array E, so that means either the subspace emitter or the particle shield is in array E. So that's kind of helpful. Actually, I think the particle shield can't go on E, can it? What does it say there? Particle shield should not be placed at sensor array E. So that means that the subspace emitter must go in E. We'll put that one in E. And then one of the others must be set at IRK1. So we haven't had any clues about IRK9 apart from... what have we got? Subspace emitter should not use 7. This doesn't use 7. And what was our other one? One of the others. So we've got the subspace emitter is in E. So either the fluctuator or the particle shield uses IRK1. And it also says up here at the top, fluctuator uses the Spentium chip. Yeah, I think you're right, because if we look up here, it says number 3 says it's the sorry, not that one. Number 4 says the fluctuator should be placed at sensor array A and set to IRK9. So that one can't use IRK1. So I'm going to assume that the other one has to use IRK1, which was the particle shield. So particle shield must use IRK1. And then, yeah, you're correct, the fluctuator must use the Spentium chip. So we'll put that in there. Okay, so what are our other clues here? So that one's got the Dentium, we know that. Particle shield's going to use 1. Feedback cutter over won't work with the Fermentium chip. So I think I've written that down here. Should not go in a sensor array B or C. Okay. Plate that uses IRK3 also uses the Dimtel chip. Okay, might need to figure out these IRKs first, I think. The subspace can't use 7. What the hell's subspace? Oh, it's that one. Okay, so that can't use 7. That one can only use 3 or 5. And it says that the one that uses 3 uses dim chow, so that could be there possibly. Yeah, I think you might be right, because it can only use 3 or 5 as far as I can see. Oh, sorry, no, the plate and sensor array D must be set to 5, so yeah, okay, so that has to be 3, and then 3 is the Dimtel chip. Not that one. Cool. D has to be 5, yeah, you're correct. Also, welcome to the chat and the stream, Dr. Acceleron. Cheers for the help. This puzzle's a bit of a pain in the ass.
You missed! Ha!
A lot of people think this puzzle is actually part of the old school copyright protection. That's what they used to do back in the old day. Instead of having kind of like copyright protection on the discs, is they'd kind of usually have like a puzzle in the physical manual that you had to do to progress at some point in the game. And a lot of people assume this was part of the copyright protection, but it's actually not. It's actually was supposed to be in the game, but for some reason they didn't get round to implementing it. So it just ended up in the manual for some reason. Kind of weird. It was one of the designers of the game kind of did an interview and mentioned it, because I always thought it was a copyright protection thing as well. Okay, so I'll just note these down. Subspace emitter is 3. And is the dim tail chip. Cool. So this one here can only be 5 or 7. Means. Because 1 was. Oh no, sorry, this one is 1. One's already set to 1. This would be. Yeah, this would be horrible copyright protection. But the thing is, you have to do this anyway, so. I mean, I think the answers. Well, obviously the answer's always the same every time. Because it's like set in the manual. So I guess you don't have to do it once. If C goes on D, it's set to 5. Feedback cutter off, it won't work with Mentium chip. Okay, well we've also got... This one won't work with the Mentium chip, so that one has to be the rec as well. And recalibrating fluctuator... sorry, we'll do this first. Well, you're saying if C goes on D, for a D must be set to 5. Okay, pop that one in there. And number 5. Cool, so that one obviously goes there. And we've got particle shield should not be placed in sensor AE, so we've only got BLC left anyway. Feedback cutter off won't work, should not goes blah blah blah. So we've only got, which one was using 1? Particle shield. Particle shield, I think, is to use 1. So whichever one that one goes into is going to be 1, and the TT one's going to be 5. And that shouldn't be placed at array C, so it must be this one. And that will use 5, and that will use... Oh, sorry, what have I done? Is that correct? No. This one's 5. Which one have we got left over? 7. Must be 7. Okay, and that should be 1, I think. Maybe. Turn it on and see if it's correct, I suppose. Hey, there we go, we got it. That wasn't so hard. Thanks to everyone for your help. I'm pretty sure I would have taken a hell of a lot longer to do that otherwise. Whoa, what the hell's going on with our ship?
Hey!
It's freaking out.
Here's your fish!
Nice work.
Stellar, you picked up my homing signal. I can't believe I actually made it work. Now no one can say I spent a little bit too much free time in the bathroom with
it is too
Popular
early.
Electronics.
It's pretty early in the game too.
Popular Tektronix, who are you trying to kid? I know what you were reading in there.
What was that voice, Roger? I thought I heard something.
Pay no attention, Stellar. It was probably just a mechanical flatulence from the ship.
Anyway, we received a transmission from a nearby Starcon communications monitoring platform. They told us of some unusual signal originating from the area of Polysorbate 60. We dialed it in, scanned the coordinates, and found you.
So what are you doing in this sector, Stellar? I thought you were stationed on the SCS Heinz 57.
Heinz 57.
I am.
Good tomato
I
sauce
had some
reference
leave
there.
accumulated and decided to take it. This is kind of embarrassing for me. I actually came to see you. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, and I was curious about what you'd been up to, so I decided to visit. And when I arrived here, I found you had just left for shore leave on Polysorbate. I decided to follow you down and try and catch up with you. When I got to that dump of an inn and found you'd been kidnapped by those thugs, I searched around but could find no trace.
Yeah, there's a
of where
lot of
they'd
those
taken
jokes
you.
in here, so
That certainly is a strange place.
might as well get prepared for a few more.
I decided to beam back up to the deep ship and try to locate you through your transport communicator signal. When I'd returned, I found you'd left it up here on the ship. I didn't know what to do then until that call came through from the Starcon installation. You're a lucky man, Wilco.
Yeah. I guess I am. If you hadn't gotten there when you did, I'd probably be a victim of some serious cement poisoning after those geeks chucked me off that balcony.
Cement poisoning.
Terrace.
I like it.
What?
Well, actually, it was a terrace.
Whatever. Thanks, Stellar. I sure owe you a big one.
I'd sure like to collect that sometime.
It's supposed to
But
be a
let's talk about
euphemism.
you and me. Perhaps I could take you to dinner sometime soon.
I'd like that, Stellar. I'd like that a lot. The thing is that I kind of have a relationship with another, and I wouldn't feel very comfortable about that. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to her. You understand? Not to mention the fact I'd be wearing my sphincter for a necklace if Beatrice ever found out. I hope you do understand, Stellar. I like you. I think I even more than like you. I don't know where I got this inordinate sense of loyalty toward Beatrice.
I believe the word that explains that is fear.
Pound sand, pal. Please know that were the situation any different, I'd be making that date with you right now.
Oh, I see. Friends, co-workers, buddies. That's all this is gonna be. I guess I knew it somewhere inside. I just didn't want to believe it. I guess I admire your trueness of heart, however misplaced. But I feel much more inclined to damn you for it. I know that's selfish, but it's how I feel. I must admit it shows something more about you, more depth of character than I gave you credit for, Wilco. Well,
Roger doesn't
I'm
have a lot of
patient
depth, to be honest.
if you ever have a change of heart. Well, Roger, we should see what we can find out about those subhuman walking dumpsters that had such a keen interest in you. I don't suppose you heard their names.
No, but I did get this neat personal grooming assistant. It
Did
needs a
hear
little
its name-
cleaning,
their
but
names.
That's great, Roger. Don't clean it, though. Take it to the sick bay. There's a DNA analyzer there. We can scan the contents and perhaps use the results to get some names and information about these guys.
Sounds like a plan.
good thinking, Stellar. I probably would have thought of it, eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have, Roger. Look, I've got to go to sick bay and get some treatment for my back after that not-so-graceful rescue.
Oh, yeah, that. Sorry. Well, I'll see you there.
See you later, Stella. I don't know if we're actually supposed to know who she is, because I don't think she appears in the other games. It's just like randomly in this one.
Commander, I am receiving a message from Starcon.
Computer on screen.
Hello, Commander Kilbasa. I have a new directive for Deep Ship 86. This is actually a special request from me, Commander. As you may know, I served with Admiral Bluntfang during the Fallopian campaign.
Fallopian.
Admiral Bluntfang's widow is involved in building an off-world retirement community. They are almost finished, but have requested assistance from Deep Ship 86. Commander, please extend her every courtesy. You know, if things go well, this would not look too bad in your personnel file. I will let Sharpay, the Admiral's widow, explain further.
Hello, Commander
Jeez,
Kilbasa.
I think she needs a bit of
As
moisturizer.
Admiral Toolman mentioned, we have almost completed our project here, but could use Starcon assistance. To be honest, Commander, I pulled a few strings, but this is an important mission, I assure you. Since you are scheduled to be present for the dedication of the Golden Light Year's Retirement Center anyway, I hoped you might alter your travel plans to accommodate an earlier arrival. From the information provided me by my old friend, the Admiral, you would be able to warp here within a few hours. I require some assistance from your ship, as well as one of your crew members.
Sounds dodgy to me.
Allow me to explain.
Do that, Sharpay.
Meanwhile, back in sickbay.
Holy crap, what is that? Like a marshmallow grasshopper. Okay. So, we've got to analyze that DNA we found in the body here, trimmer thingamabob we've got. We'll have a little look around first, though.
Apparently the doctor is way busy as he completely ignores you.
Seems to be pretty standard, though, for people who encounter Roger.
It's a medibunk. This is where all ill or injured crew members are treated. It's also where they bring all the guys in the red shirts, or what's left of them, after they've suffered their inevitable calamities.
Who's this guy?
Jabba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow with an internal skeleton is interesting. He's the main research attendant here in the sickbay.
Oh, that's right. I think his name's Jabba the Hop, from memory. They do like their puns in this game.
Stellar is getting treatment for her back injury. You should be ashamed of yourself for jumping on her like that, you baby. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are merely non-functional screen dressing. Pretty cool looking, eh?
They're pretty cool looking, I have to admit.
It's a case of something you don't care about. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are merely...
Okay, I've already read that one. I think we can talk to one of these guys.
Your words are so unspectacular, nature doesn't even see fit to grant it an echo.
Nice.
Hey, don't put...
Oh, I'm trying to talk to
You
him.
start to say something, and then you remember that you're supposed to be a man of action, not words. Or is that the other way around?
Okay, so this is the DNA sequencer.
You drool in that direction, but no one notices.
Oh, wrong one.
This is a DNA sequencer. During a starship's travels, many different organisms and artifacts are discovered, and a DNA sequencer can come in quite handy in analyzing them.
Makes sense.
But mostly it just gets used to make sure the food replicators are working properly, and not brewing up anything that might hatch and grow inside you, for instance.
Well, that seems like a pretty good reason to use it as well.
You summon the ability to leave it alone.
But I need to use them. What are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
What? This is important.
Ah, come on, Jabba. Be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a Starcon regulation.
So, this bit's actually, to be honest, a lot of bits in this game are kind of annoying. I feel like to progress here, you have to keep actually, you have to keep doing that until he actually lets you use it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
Ah, come on, Jabba. Be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a Starcon regulation.
Or maybe you have to talk to him directly. Yeah.
Jeez, Jabba. Who's gonna know? Let me try this one thing. I'll be out of your way. No one will find out.
Come on, Jabba.
I don't know, Mr. Wilco.
Be a pal.
I'm not one to break regulations. I really don't think it's a good idea.
I swear, it'll only take a minute. We're out in the middle of nowhere. No one will find out. And I'll tell you what, anytime you want it, one free plunge job, day or night.
Lunch
What do
job.
you say?
Well, I don't know.
It'll only take a minute or two, really. Come on, Jabba, be a pal.
Come on, Jabba.
Well, okay, but just this once. If anyone finds out I'm sunk, then I'll come looking for you to take it out on. Keep that in mind.
No problem. I'll be done in a flash.
Thanks, Jabba.
I really don't know why I'm doing this.
Because you're the man. That's why. Okay, let's pick out the sequencer.
It feels like...
So, first things first, we need to grab our nice looking razor here.
Yuck! It's the hair you pulled from Nigel's personal grooming assistant.
It's kind of like a weird thing to say because we haven't actually pulled it out yet. So, yeah. We'll grab this here. Chuck it in here. And then I guess we go scan.
What can be said that isn't painfully obvious?
Oh, wrong icon. That happens a lot. Blend clone sequence, what the hell? Cool, and then we need to hit this one, I think, and it gives us like a card we can read with the information on it. Sweet. Take that with us. I also think that you can grab some stuff from one of these sets of drawers from memory.
Don't pick at it, you'll only make it worse.
Maybe this one. Get out of my way, man. In a hurry. Here we go. Kind of syringe. That's some morphine.
It's a bottle of morphine.
Or morphine. Probably the same thing. Okay. So, next thing we need to do is...
As in all locations aboard the deep ship 86, a compost is located here. Ever since stairs were banned during the Ford administration, composts have
Ford
been a
administration.
necessity.
Okay, so we have to use this here.
Neat. I've always wanted to try one of these on the compost.
Well, that's good. Game just crashed. Cool. Now, hopefully it won't crash. Please?
Neat. I've always wanted to try one of these on the compost.
Nope. Gonna crash again. What the hell? Okay, so it's a timing issue with the processor. Okay, so I have to slow
Neat.
down DOSBox a bit, and that should fix it.
Oh, hi, Stellar. I hope your back's feeling better.
They just finished treating me, and it is starting to feel better. However, I was told to lay off rescuing people for a while, especially you. So, did you have any luck?
I got some information from the sample I ran through the DNA sequencer. When I tried it, all I got was a name. All it said after that was that the file is closed. I wonder why that is.
Very suspicious.
I don't know for sure, Roger, but it seems a bit suspicious.
That's what I said.
When a file is marked like that, there's usually a very good reason. Most frequently, it indicates the file is closed for intelligence purposes, or it's legally sealed by some judicial body. In the case of those tubs of guts that grabbed you, I'd have to say it's not a government agency directly behind it. It sounds more like someone with access from the outside to a friend or two inside. A more paranoid person might say this smells way wrong.
I agree.
Then again, when did you last change your socks?
If the files are
Probably
sealed,
been a while.
then we have nothing to go on.
True. The only thing I can think of is that they may be accessible by jacking into cyberspace. I've never done it, but I know it can be done.
So I guess this means you won't be trying it first. I mean, I'd love to try it, but I can't since we don't know how.
Well, actually, I read it can be done with the help of a cyber jack and headset and a cyberspace jack interface module. The article said there are several things to access out there and that there's a vast library of files to browse.
Sounds fun.
It said that the
Cyberspace.
Information Superhighway project is a little behind schedule, but that there are some operative areas. Other than that, I don't have a clue as to how we can gain any information about them.
So you think this cyberspace thing could work?
Well, I can only tell you what I've read. Navigating it takes a little patience, but I think it's the only option you have. I don't know if you'll locate a cyberjack and headset. Because of the delays in the project, they've become more like collector's items than marketable, functionable products.
Darn.
We do have cyberjack modules built into the compost.
That's true. Of course, we won't know anyway without the jack.
That bites. I wonder where we could find one of those.
I wonder.
I wish I knew, Roger. There must be some place.
Attention! We are now orbiting the Delta Berxilon 5 colony as requested by Starcon. Most of you know your assignments as they have been broadcast to your composts. Please represent Starcon properly. Kilbasa, out.
Kilbasa.
You better get moving since you don't know yet what your assignment is. I have some checking around to do. We'll talk later.
Okie dokie.
Thanks, Stellar. I'll see you soon. Maybe we can work in that dinner.
Do it. Back to Roger's quarters. Still in a messy state, same as last time we were here.